Chainsaw Man is finally released, and I am glad to say that it definitely lives up to the hype. It even managed to top the charts in Mal and reach the number 3 spot. And even though we knew this feat wouldn't last forever, in fact, it didn't even last for 7 hours if I'm sure, it was still very surprising. And I really wish it could have kept that spot if it wasn't for the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood fans that keep downvoting other animes that top the charts because they want to keep their anime relevant. The episode starts off with someone opening a door, and if you haven't deduced it by now, spoiler alert, this is Denji and it foreshadows future events that are about to occur. He wakes up from this dream and now we can see the quality of life of this guy, and it is a very poor quality of life. Like, my man's is living in a small apartment on a mattress, not even a bed, and he can't even afford food. Something I'd like to point out is that MAPPA did a very good and amazing job in animating the backgrounds. Like, this anime is very beautiful. Throughout the episode, we find out that Denji has now been working for the Yakuza for a couple of years after his father killed himself, and he's now trying to pay off his father's debt. He even went through the added effort of selling one of his most prized possessions, his family jewels. Not both of them, just one of them, but still. The Yakuza tells Denji that it's time for work as they have got a devil that they need him to take out. We soon find out that this was all just an ambush and the Yakuza have made a deal with the zombie devil, and well, you guessed it, the zombie devil turns people into zombies after it gives them its powers. It wants to kill Denji because its goal is to kill every devil hunter. Denji tries running away, but it's useless and he gets killed and mutilated and gets thrown in the trash. Some of Denji's blood enters the mouth of Pochita, which is just about enough to revive him, and Pochita gets a flashback to when Denji was telling him that Denji were to ever die, he'd want Pochita to take over his body and live the life that he couldn't live himself. Pochita ends up sacrificing his life in exchange for Denji's life, and in return, he wants to see Denji achieve his dreams. Soon after, Denji turns into Chainsaw Man and starts wreaking havoc. And that is where we get this iconic scene from the trailer. Denji ends up killing all of the zombies, and MAPPA wasn't lying about the gore. The gore is in full spectacle here, and they did not hold back. Makima and her team enter to find the building where Denji is left alone standing, and they soon discover that Denji was the reason that all of these people died. She's even able to identify that Denji is neither human or neither devil, but is both. She realizes that Denji is not possessed and gives him an ultimatum to be killed like a devil or to be kept as a pet, which Denji chooses the latter. The episode ends with Denji asking what's for breakfast, with Makima telling him that it's bread with butter and jam, which is what Denji has always wanted. And I'd say it's a perfect end to an episode. In my opinion, Chainsaw Man is the strongest first episode among all of the animes that have came out in this season. Overall, I do really love Chainsaw Man, and this is coming from a manga reader, so I know where the story is going to go, and it only gets crazier from here. I definitely do like the themes of Chainsaw Man, especially the theme of everyone's dream is important, no matter how small it may seem. Denji is a very relatable character, and he's a very relatable 16-year-old, and I could see him existing. And as a 16-year-old myself, I do very much relate to Denji, and his dream of just wanting to have a girlfriend is very relatable. He even goes to the length of saying, if I could have one dream come true, it would be that I want to score with a girl before I die. And I think that's very commendable, even though it's a small dream to have. And I also really do love the other theme of Chainsaw Man of appreciating what you have before it's gone, or appreciating whatever little you have. Even Denji questions himself when Pochita gives his life in return for his, as he says that these guys have everything. Why didn't I just appreciate the happy moments I had with Pochita? The CGI in Chainsaw Man is definitely superb and it's high tier. So people from Twitter were complaining about it can finally shut up about that now. The opening and the music in general in this anime is a freaking banger. But although I must admit, I would have preferred punk rock for the anime opening. And the visuals associated with the opening are also filled with tons of references. And in true anime fashion, there obviously has to be spoilers in the anime opening. And the animation is just insane. I can't wait to see future fights. I do kind of have one thing to say that might be a downer. I think manga is a much more appealing aesthetic because it uses different colors and it is much more vibrant with its colors, whereas the anime kind of seems bland in comparison, but it's also very beautiful in its own right. I do understand why they took their realistic approach with the anime. It's because they want it to be grounded in reality, even though Chainsaw Man is inherently absurd, but they wanted the emotional scenes to have a heavy impact than they would if it didn't look realistic. Chainsaw Man is definitely worth your time, and as I've already said, it definitely does live up to the hype, so I think you should check it out, and it is definitely a contender for anime of the year. Well, that's about it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you watch this video, please, it's a big help to this channel.